All right, Samantha, when you're ready, you can go ahead and share your screen. Go ahead and get us started. I see Danielle made it in the call too. Thank you everyone for joining us. We have Ozone House who's going to tell us about their program.
Okay, is my screen being shared? Are we all awesome?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I can hear you and see your screen.
Amazing. Tech is not my thing, so if you ever need to jump in at any point and let me know, awesome. Um, my name is Samantha Fine. I'm the Director of Housing and Supportive Services at Ozone House. And I'm here with my supervisor, Danielle, who I'll let introduce herself and she'll start us off on the presentation.
All right. Hi, all. I am Danielle Zokowski. I'm the Associate Director at Ozone House and been here for just over 2 years. And we're going to talk to you guys today about resources that we have and specifically new resources through YHDP, the Youth Homelessness Demonstration Project. So, start off a little bit about Ozone House, who we are. We're a runaway and homeless youth provider here in Washtenaw County. We serve youth and young adults ages 10 to 24 with emergency shelter, a crisis line, a whole um, continuum of services, including street outreach, case management, behavioral health, short-term housing supports, and longer-term housing supports that we'll talk about when we get into each of our programs. Um, so the new thing is YHDP, the Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program. This is something that we've been working on as a community for the last few years, actually. Just over a year, 18 months ago, the community was awarded $4.2 million and it brought together community partners to kind of come up with a plan and determine what the community needs, where are our gaps, what projects would benefit youth and young adults who are homeless to increase access to housing services and also goals of strengthening partnerships and having more cross-system collaboration in the community. So if we go to the next slide, yep, talking about our collaborative partners is Ozone House is the primary service provider. We're offering case management, supportive services, as well as transitional housing and rapid rehousing. WHA, the Washtenaw Housing Alliance, is one of our partners. And utilizing their expertise in landlord engagement, tenant rights to support seeking housing, identifying landlord champions that want to support housing youth and young adults. The Corner Health Center is providing health services, behavioral health, substance use services in a variety of ways, whether it's on site at their health center or coming into the transitional housing programs where the youth and young adults are staying. And then our house, who is a provider of foster care placement for pregnant and parenting teens. have expanded their services through this program to also offer transitional housing for homeless, pregnant and parenting teens.
So a little bit about our like overall programs and how YHDP kind of fits into what we're already doing at Ozone House, and in community as well. And so ways to access our services would be our crisis line that is 24/7. It's actually our main number. So you can call the main number to ask any variety of questions, but can always give our main number to anyone within our age range to access any sort of resources, access to shelter, basic needs, so they can come in during our open hours. We have a drop-in center as well as our main location right across from Eastern. So where they can get meals during the day, snacks, they have a safe place to sleep, they can shower, they can do laundry, they can connect with a variety of different supports. We have youth peer supports. We also have staff that are on site at both locations to really help a young person get connected to whatever services they need at the time, or see what services through Ozone House they qualify for, and to be able to get them connected to those, as well as our partners in community. And then they'll be screened for any sort of intake if they want to be for our programs. We like to do it as quick as possible. Right now we have, I think, like a 2-day turnaround for the ability to schedule an intake for a young person to, at bare minimum, get connected to our services before they ever get into programs or other community connections in that way. So there's a variety of ways to access kind of the initial touch services. And we also have a street outreach team. So that goes with our street outreach program. So we actually have a team, our drop-in center staff members, who are in community, seeing where young people are sleeping, where they're staying, verifying their homelessness, providing services and resources until we're able to get them into more permanent supportive housing, which we know unfortunately takes longer than we hope, but at least we have access and gateways to supports and services and resources from there. The other aspect of like YHDP, like I mentioned, and how it fits in, we have an aspect of YHDP that is our SSO that Danielle kind of touched on how we do a transitional housing and a rapid rehousing before that ever even happens, or that might not need to happen. We have supportive services only. Sometimes young people just need that support, and so through YHDP we can use more of a prevention approach to get them, life skills ready for that housing, connection to resources, benefits, maybe a little bit of job support and coaching to really help them get off the ground without them being in a long-term housing related program, because that might not be where their needs are at this time. So that's an aspect of our kind of outreach team, as well as kind of some prevention approaches. And when we further talk about prevention and diversion, the other aspect that we have, and a lot of times people think of Ozone House when it comes to our minors, which is awesome, and we love that. We do have a minor shelter, but the real robust aspect of our prevention services for minors is that prevention piece that we actually do have a therapist attached to. So there's a youth and family therapist that's able to work with a young person and their families before shelter is necessary. Because there's generally those signs. We generally see some things happening in the home, in community, when that would lead us to believe that we might be headed down a road where hopefully we don't need, but a young person might need shelter. Sometimes there's safety at risk and things like that, not necessarily in these cases. I mean, when reunification that's the goal, but we see it heading down a negative direction, call us, let us know that we can really support in community. Ideally, we don't have to disrupt a young person's experience and a family's experience of living at home during that time. And so we really want to work with the family longer term to make sure that a young person doesn't have to come into shelter. And if they do, we have a shelter component of that program where they can stay 14 days, as long as 21, to be able to have maybe a little respite if that's necessary. It does require caregiver consent. So it's after 24 hours. So this isn't a place that a young person can run away from their family without consent, and then they can just stay for 2 weeks, right? The family's involved. It's a very family related program so that we can keep the family together, and ideally out of system involvement, once they are an adult. And so while we do have that emergency shelter piece, I always really like to stress the fact that it's actually far more of a prevention program. The earlier we get contact, the earlier we can support families and avoid shelter or prior to coming into shelter, the better. So those are our access to our minor services, and some of our prevention services. And I always like to plug the drop-in center at these moments as well. Quite low barrier for the drop-in center. There's specific hours for minors to be able to come and get some resume support, get some community support, really have that connection and interaction, again, without needing to come into shelter. And so some of our residential services, we talked about that safe stay emergency shelter. That is an option of our prevention program. But beyond that, we have Miller House. And so Miller House is our YHDP transitional housing rapid rehousing program. So through a community housing prioritization process, the CHIP meeting, as some people are familiar with, that's when our young people are placed into our transitional housing program that they have up to 2 years in. And then after 2 years, they are automatically given a rapid rehousing voucher that they have then another year or two of support to be able to get them housed in community and have that case management support. We also have Huron House that's coming soon on its way, hopefully in the next few months. Waiting on some permitting things. But it's going to be a congregate style transitional housing that young people can stay in for up to 18 months. That is a little bit more of a, well, they're all life skills based programs to have these young people housed as soon as possible. But Huron House is going to be for those that don't quite qualify for a YHDP or have the ability to kind of have a shorter journey, and that I need some place to stay for this ability of time to get on my feet kind of thing. And so we're really excited about that. We're ready. The lockers are in, the beds are built. So we're excited for once it's able to open. A little bit, we just talked about kind of the transitional housing, through YHDP. So that is a new piece. We've always had a transitional living program at Ozone House. It's been adjusted and kind of revamped in an exciting way with YHDP, in the sense that we can actually offer really intensive service or intentional and intensive services, as well as having a longer up to 2 years. And so there's up to 14 young people ages 18 to 24 in that program. And then the transitional living program that we spoke about, Huron House, that will be our other transitional living program that they do have up to 18 months. And so it's far longer term than a shelter program, even though it is congregate living in that way. And they do pay rent specifically in that transitional living program, but that rent is returned to them at the end. They're also not, we do have them sign a contract with us so that we can say we were their previous landlords and give them a referral to a new landlord and things like that. If they're not able to pay rent that month, we are not evicting young people for transitional living program. It's merely a ability for them to save money for themselves to be able to practice in those ways, and also then geared towards success upon discharge of the program. We support all different types of programs. I've talked a fair amount about YHDP, but we do have case managers that support our rapid rehousing programs that are not YHDP associated. We also are supporting people who are on foster youth initiative vouchers, have project-based vouchers through Ann Arbor Housing, have housing choice vouchers that also are young people who we have a permanent supportive housing case management program that we run with Avalon, which we're grateful for. Couple different ones. One we do at the Grove of Viridian, and one is our solo program. And so we do have some permanent supportive housing options that we do as well. And generally those also come through our community housing prioritization. So that CHIP meeting that happens twice a month, that will then have transparency and community as to how we're placing young people into these programs. But we have a team of case managers, my wonderful, wonderful staff, who are supporting young people across all of these programs. So we do a fair amount of case management also outside of YHDP. And with that, since we just threw a lot of program information at you, YHDP and otherwise, that's what we have. But I also wanted to leave space for any questions, Ozone House related, YHDP program specific, communication, et cetera, et cetera. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Any questions? Anyone want to ask? You're welcome to put it in the chat or unmute. I do have a question while others are thinking about theirs. So I'm just curious, and it's okay if you don't have the numbers in front of you, but what do the numbers look like as far as how many you've been able to serve? Like what's like an average? Any kind of how many youths are you, I guess, in 2025, going back and looking at that or anything? What's kind of an average of the youths that are coming through your programs?
I can take that one. So, over the last year, people that we had like intentionally engaged in Ozone House programs and services was about 300. And then our outreach numbers are actually beyond that. So we have contact with in the thousands, and some of that is like duplicated numbers, but through our crisis line and different outreach events, anywhere from like 2,500 to 3,000 contacts with young people in a year, and about 300 of them enrolled in programs and services.
That was really great to hear. Are there other questions? Does anyone else would like to? Yep. Kristen's asking, are there any temporary shelters available for 18 to 24-year-olds experiencing housing instability? Available?
So yeah, that would be essentially like both of our transitional housing programs are for individuals 18 to 24 with housing instability. And the only caution I have with that is there is no immediate access. So there are wait lists for all of our transitional housing programs. For our minor emergency shelter, we do almost always have beds available, but for 18 to 24-year-olds, there's always a wait list.
And so kind of to add to that question, like if someone calls and says, I need shelter tonight, what we can do is we'll likely offer them a place to come sleep during the day. If they need a tent, if they need resources, if they need food, if they need laundry, if they need any of those gateway services, those basic supports. But unfortunately, and I know it hurts every service provider in this entire community to say that we would have to tell them the same thing of calling Hawk and getting yourself on a list, and also getting on the wait list, which unfortunately there is one for Delonis. And so I know that's not a happy, wonderful answer to hear. We're hoping, especially with Huron House opening soon, that 18 to 24-year-old, we're going to be able to really service that population a little bit more. We know we're not going to meet the entire need, unfortunately, but that we'll be able to at least chip away at that. But when we're talking about immediate need, yeah, that is where we're at.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. Are there any specific eligibility requirements? Like, do the participants have to be from Washtenaw County or anything along those lines?
So in general, for our programs, yes, they need to be in Washtenaw County. The one caveat with our minor shelter program is that they need to be essentially needs to be the program closest to where they live. They're not that common. And so we do often have young people that come from out of county if they do need our minor shelter program due to there not being one closer or in their county at all. But otherwise, for our case management programs and YHDP and things like that, they do need to be in Washtenaw County.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any others? Here's one. Do referrals have to come from Hawk?
They do not. It's always a resource to call Hawk because depending on someone's situation, like let's say if they are a parent, there are other resources in community that they also may qualify for. But if they're in our age range, they still qualify for our services. And there is a number that you press when you call Hawk. I want to say that it's 3 if you're within a certain age range, and it will say to connect if you're between the ages of 18 to 24, make sure that or if you're a minor, press 3 for Ozone House and it transfers them to our crisis line. So they don't have to call Hawk, they can, and we might call Hawk with them for various other reasons, but they can come to our drop-in center, they can be walk-ins, they can call via the crisis line, if they want to come here or Hawk, however they'd like to access our services, we want to get them through the door.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Last call for questions. Okay. Well, thank you. And I have your slides, and so I will get those on our Barrier Buster website. And on the slides, you've listed your contact information. So if anyone wants to catch you, they can catch you there. The information there. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and we'll transition over. Alyssa, I think I have you scheduled next with Friends Indeed.
Yes.
Hi. All right. So if you, yep, perfect. You're going to share your screen with us. All right. Okay.
Great.
When you're
Well,
ready.
welcome and thank you all so much for allowing me time on your agenda today. I am here to talk about Over the Edge. And what if your next fundraiser could raise unrestricted revenue, engage supporters, and build community partnerships, all while creating an unforgettable experience? And that's exactly what we're hoping to create through our Over the Edge event this year. So what is Over the Edge? Over the Edge is our peer-to-peer fundraising event where participants raise funds, there's certain goals, and once they reach that goal, they get to rappel down Hill Hall at Eastern Michigan University. And it's on September 12th. And whoops, I'm going way too fast. And so it's a peer-to-peer fundraiser. It's a community celebration, and it's all about supporting local nonprofits. And the key to remember here is that people don't just donate to an event. They donate to the people who are doing something really amazing. So, and why does it matter? Why am I lost? Oh, I'm sorry. So basically, we're turning a personal courage into community impact. We are raising funds for local nonprofits. We're engaging supporters in a unique way that is not done too many times. And we're all about strengthening Washtenaw County together. So let me go to the next slide. What's new in 2026? Nonprofit fundraising teams. That's what I'm talking about. We're inviting our nonprofit partners to join us, not just as community resource tables this year, but as actual fundraising beneficiaries. We want Over the Edge to become a showcase of what nonprofit collaboration can look like here in Washtenaw County. And so, as you know, when we work together as nonprofits, we build a stronger team. So it's all about shared visibility, greater community impact, details, how to participate. You can build a team, and that is our best value that we're able to offer. Because when you build a team of 6, we only have you pay for 5, and you're only paying $300 per person. So what that $300 per person is doing, it's securing your rappel spot. So if you have a team and they, maybe it goes sideways and they don't raise what they thought they could, they still have those spots. They're still going to repel no matter what. And that is different than our individual that we do for Friends Indeed, because you have to get your goal in order to fundraise. But we do it differently for nonprofits because we want your team going over the edge. And so then the option 2 is individual repeller, which the spot costs $350. And then there's other ways to help. You can be a volunteer, you can sponsor, you can host your resource table. So a lot of people with the peer-to-peer fundraiser, it gets, anxiety ridden, especially if you've never done one before. And our saying is, it's okay if you've never done it before, because we have. This is our 7th year of running the Over the Edge event. And we know all the tips and tricks and everything that you need to be able to fundraise to your goal. So what we're saying is you're not going to do this alone. We're going to coach you with fundraising tips and tricks, with sample emails, templates, all the tips, all the support that anyone could need. And at the end of the day, what matters most is if you can tell your story, if you can tell your why you're doing this, you can fundraise. Because that's what people want to hear. They want to hear your personal why. Why am I going over the edge? And here's a sample on the screen, a sample, how to raise $1,000 in 10 days. And it literally works. It literally works. So imagine your team. They're standing up. It's a team made of board members, volunteers, staff, donors, program participants. Maybe it's, for instance, Ozone House. What if you had a team of 6? You had a couple board members, a couple staff members, but then you had your youth. When before you're 18, can you get an opportunity to actually rappel down a building? For some people, they're like, yes, I want to do that. I've never done that before. Other people are like, no, I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? However, this is an amazing opportunity for empowerment. The entire day is all about people. Some people, they've done it before, they're fine, no problem. But then there's other people who signed up who are scared to death of heights. I'm one of those people, and this will be my 4th year going down the wall. But that courage is truly contagious. The entire day at Over the Edge is so incredibly contagious. It's a celebration. Your people are doing things for the first time by walking down the wall. Their friends, their family are rallying, cheering them on. It's a high energy day. And it's a day that we want our nonprofit partners in Washtenaw County, we want you there with us, because we want to say that we're taking a stand in support of Washtenaw County, because we can uplift our community together. So if you are ready to take the leap, build a team, become a sponsor, volunteer, host a resource table, partner with us, you can scan that QR code right there. And you can give me a call, you can send me an email, and I will walk you through all the resources, all the things that you need to be successful. And what's really great is that when you have a team that has different people from different aspects of your nonprofit, they're forming a team. They're getting better connected. And we hope that at the end of the day, that team, that connection, that celebration continues to uplift your organization, uplift Washtenaw County. So, are there any questions that I can answer? And yes, this is me rappelling. And yes, I really am scared of heights. I promise you. Last year they had to, because I told the Over the Edge volunteer, the professional crew that comes in, I told them, I'm fine if you can get me over the edge. It's just getting over the edge. Because when I stand up on that edge at Hill Hall, my knees start shaking, my whole body starts shaking, and I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. So last year, they danced me to the edge, which was key because they're like, well, what do you like to do? I'm like, I'm a dancer. I love to dance. And they're like, okay. So they danced me to the edge. The anxiety buildup kind of lessened, and it was great. But truly, we just want to open this up to our nonprofit partners because this is such a wonderful moment to be a model for Washtenaw County on how nonprofits truly can come together and support one another. So I'll stop there if there's any questions.
This is fantastic. My hands are sweating just thinking about it and looking at your picture. I am feeling it. Uh, so we have Emily saying that she loves this crazy idea and can you send the info out to the Barry Buster email listserv? So yes, please
Absolutely,
do
I'd
that.
be happy. Yes.
Please do that. Um, that was fantastic. What a great event. Oh, Lori saying she went over the edge 2 years ago, or 2 years in a row, and it's an amazing experience. It's fantastic. Can I just come and have the table and watch everybody?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Anyone have any questions? How many years has this fundraiser occurred?
This will be our 7th year. Yeah. So that's why it's long overdue that we open this up to our fellow nonprofits.
Yeah, that sounds like a really novel, a really great concept. And I love the messaging of building a team amongst our nonprofits. And I like to think that, our information sharing that we do with this meeting and our listserv, that we do create, that we are trying to make efforts to be collaborative in the work that we do. So I really appreciate that
Sheila,
messaging.
you have a question.
Yes. Excuse me. Can you clarify a little more? You said with I think it was 300 per person, but then if you didn't reach your goal, can you explain that a little more?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we have it structured is that if you're just one individual, it would be 30 or $350. That buys your rappel spot, meaning no matter how much you fundraise, you will be going over the edge. So with the team, we have the incentive where you can have a team up to 6 people and you pay for 5. It's at the $300 level to
Okay.
incentivize that. And then no matter how much they fundraise, they get to rappel. But I will tell you that if you get your team and you truly involve your entire organization, meaning from board members, staff, participants, they're going to raise more than you think they will. We have individuals who have been part of our Over the Edge that continually raise over $10,000.
Mm.
Like truly, the impact is once you get your team, it's getting that team to get excited to send out, hey, I'm doing this super crazy thing, but it's for a great cause and I need your help,
Mhm.
support. And then everyone's sending out, you know, getting that word out. And you would be surprised because, some people at first are like, oh, that is so crazy, too crazy for us. Then they try it and they're like, oh my gosh, what was I ever thinking? This is the best.
Okay.
Did
Thank you.
that answer your question?
Yes.
Beautiful. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions? Well, please reach out. I will send this out to the listserv for everyone, and I really appreciate you giving us time on the agenda today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, I can move us to the next on the agenda. Is there any, let's just take a couple of minutes, and is there any events upcoming that or programs that your agency is beginning, starting, whatever? Any information that you want to just shout out from any of our attendees today to share about your agency? Well, you can always throw something in the chat, and make sure you get it out on the listserv, because that's one access point. And so I'm going to go ahead. There's nobody. I'm not seeing any hands raised. The hand raised.
Hey there, it's Lori from Ipsy Township. I just wanted to shout out that Destination Ann Arbor is working with us on RoFest again this year, and it's July 11th through the 19th, and they are looking for agencies who might want to earn money for their agency by providing volunteers for the event. I don't have the flyer pulled up, but I know you can go to Destination Ann Arbor and look at the opportunity if any of the nonprofits want to, submit some volunteers to help with things, then they can earn money for their agency.
Very cool. Alice, I see you put a shameless plug. Do you want to speak to it real quick?
Oh, I'm just participating in Over the Edge for the second year in a row. And so I shamelessly plugged my own campaign page there.
Excellent. Okay. Any others? Well, this is I did mention that once you pay for your Rappel spot, the nonprofit will receive 90% of their team's proceeds.
Sorry, I didn't mention that, and that could be a pretty key part of everything. But yeah, so just so you know, we asked for upfront payment for the rappel spot so that we can hold that spot for you. But then no matter what you fundraise after that, you get 90%. Well, we just take 10% for admin for all the things, all the things. So apologies for not hitting that one.
All right. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give my update and where we are with Barrier Busters. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Gotcha over here. Okay, so let's talk about Barrier Buster funding or the lack of. Um, June was a very difficult month. We received 38,000 in requests in the one day, and we only had available 12,900. That was really difficult. Those of you that may have put in request may remember that it did take me 2-3 days before I responded, because I meticulously went through every single one and really tried. I took notes to identify the most critical cases. And so that's why I took it very slowly and wanted to make sure I was catching those to try to help. And even doing all of that, our money did not go very far, and I really did have to turn away some really critical cases that I wish I didn't have to. So with that to say, we have July 1st coming on. Our funding hasn't really changed since June at this moment. So I expect something similar. So just a note for those of you that do put in requests, maybe look at how many you're putting in, maybe try and identify your most critical cases. Make sure that you're putting that information that I need to know to identify it as critical. We want to make sure we're in DTE shut off if those are what we're looking at, that they're like, or pending shut off, right? They're going to be shut off in a week, or what the timeline might look like. I do try to prioritize the households with children, with seniors, vulnerable, people that maybe have a strong critical medical need to maintain that power stays on. It doesn't feel good to have to turn people away that are absolutely deserving, that absolutely should have their utilities on. So tell me the story in the request so I can best decide, and then please let your clients know that it is not guaranteed and that we are facing very limited funding. If you have a client in Ann Arbor Water Utilities, you can submit a request for that anytime during the month. It's a relationship that we have with them that we are able to request for those types of requests. We can submit those types of requests at any time. SCIP, the Senior Crisis Intervention Program Fund, is now depleted. They are working to get a new allocation. My resources are telling me that's probably not going to occur until, I think we're in July, so maybe August. Hopefully by August they'll have replenished, and that would become available. I left it on the slide, so it's still there, but it will be maybe another month. So we'll let you all know when that becomes available again. We do have Pittsfield Charter Township, just a little bit each month. So you may double check your clients, see if anybody's in Pittsfield Township. You can submit. We are distributing that at the rate of 2,200. So that could mean just one request, or it could mean maybe two, but not too much. It also, right now, our housing funds, as you know, that our process of calling Hawk and then accessing through the SOS housing team that works to access our Barrier Buster Housing Fund. They are also very limited right now. They're running on that similar 12,900 a month, and there is again a little bit of housing for Pittsfield, which is split, so it's 2,200 there. So definitely, go ahead and call Hawk. They'll inform the person what they need to say, inform them of what resources are available and where they might find funding. But it's pretty low. Let's see. So a couple of updates. We have next month is our summer break. So we won't be meeting for this meeting in July. We'll take that summer off, or the July session off. I will still have a new member orientation that will occur on that Wednesday. I think it's July 22nd. So reach out to me if you have staff that are new and would like to do, or just a refresher, let me know and I'll get in touch with you and send that link to sign up for that. I just went over the prioritization for our funding because it's so limited. Match funds, try and find what we can in the community to help support the client's emergency. And just a reminder, I mentioned it a couple months ago, and I apologize for not mentioning it last month or the month before too, but we are going to have a bit of a policy shift in that we are going to move to one-time assistance, and then the annual will begin at that one-time that assistance date. So if somebody gets approved for a request, say today in June, we wouldn't want them to reapply until June of 2027. So it used to run a little bit differently, but we're going to go ahead and move it to this once a year based on their request date. And then the other thing to mention is I'm pretty excited. I am part of the OCED community action. We're a community action agency, and I'm part of the needs assessment that we are conducting. So here's my plug for all of us, and more will come through the listserv. I'll pass it through as well. Let's see, here we go. This is what I have for you. So OCED is conducting a needs assessment. It should take about 10 minutes or so to fill out. We're encouraging you all to just have this flyer available to your community that you serve. If you happen to be anywhere that you think it would be appropriate to put, we're trying to just spread the word. We do have a version in Spanish. I think that's going online and getting ready this week. So it's almost there. I think right now we have a paper copy. So if you have Spanish speaking residents of Washtenaw that would like that, be in touch with me and I'll see how we can get that. And then eventually I think it's moving into the SurveyMonkey version in Spanish. That's what we're working on. All right, so this is our flyer. I'll have it. There's also a link to this in my signature line. And yeah, I think that's about it for that. We hope to hear from everyone. If you're a resident, please fill it out yourself as well. Any questions? Okay. Tommy, can I get you to email me your request to get the new member orientation link? That way I'll see it and give you that link through email, and I'll have your email too. Let's see. What I'll do is give you my okay, let's see, was there anything else in here? Okay, that's really good to know. So we're talking about honorable veterans. Adrika, do you want to speak to this, unmute and speak to this, what you've written? This is really good information.
Yeah, so if you have any of the ones that are applying for barrier busters and they are Washtenaw County veterans or dependents, so that would be a surviving spouse that's not remarried, they can contact our office and we have mortgage assistance, rent assistance, and utility assistance that we can help. And then that might help with you not having to go through all those applications if any of them are veterans, just have them contact us and then use our funding. And so they're not using the barrier buster funding, and that can be used for people who are non-veteran. If that makes sense.
Fantastic. It very much does. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And that's exactly what we need to do, is that collaborative work, that collaborative approach to be able to access. And so that is very good to know.
Thank you.
And then, yeah. And then just as for full transparency, those, us over here at OCED are working really hard at trying to identify additional funding for our coffers for barrier busters. So we are doing what we can do. Very nice. Kristen said that she had an employee who recently got help from the VA and it helped stabilize his housing. Okay, well, there was one more thing that I didn't write on my update, but just wanted to put out there. This is a little different, but it's come to my attention that there may be some agency staff out there, maybe in leadership, that may not have a full understanding of how barrier busters and how the hot call center work. And so I just wanted to put out there, if your agency would like for barrier busters for me, I can get in touch with Amanda Guanco, that's the Hawk supervisor. We can come and meet, we can do it in person, or we can do a Zoom and do kind of a tailored orientation of barrier busters, maybe not so focused on the portal part of it, but just about the program, and just kind of resolve some maybe misunderstandings, misconceptions, and really get a better understanding of our program. So if your agency would like something like that, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do. And we can set up just to provide that information of how barrier busters works. And I have an in with Amanda Guanco over at the Hawk supervisor. So I'm throwing her in the mix too. So if we want some clarification about how Hawk call center works, I can make that happen. All right. Well, if there is nothing more, let me see. Any hands up? Anything I'm missing? Okay. Well, we can go ahead and end our meeting. Enjoy the rest of our day. All right. Yep. Thank you, everyone. And you have a great summer. I'll see you in August, if not sooner. We're always available over here, so reach out when you need to. And I'm going to stay on this call until everyone exits in case anyone wants to have a private conversation or, ask some questions, that kind of thing. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, Stacy. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, can we,
Thank you.
oh, thanks, Nathan. I'm not sure who was it that just was speaking. Let me try, I'm turning up my volume. I wasn't hearing you very well.
It's just
There you are.
my monitor doesn't work. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, just my desktop doesn't support the video. But I just have
Mhm.
one question about the Barrier Buster. Potentially, I'm thinking of applying for a DTE bill assistant, but the problem is the patient's account has frozen for the method of payment. Just only the DTs, what they're saying is only they accept money order, either certified check, certified business check, or something like that. So
Mhm.
in that case, can OCD send a certified check for the
That
patient
is,
if the
yeah.
assistant approved?
That's not something that we've done in the past. That typically includes an additional fee for that process. Um, what I would be curious to find out is if DTE would allow for the EFT payment process, which is how we have our financial partner, B&B Payee Services. That's how they make payment to DTE for us. It's through that EFT, which is like that direct deposit into their account. So my recommendation
So,
is to maybe,
la
Mhm,
okay, can I continue? So last year, Trinity Fund tried to help
mhm,
using online
mhm.
direct payment on behalf of the patient name, but it didn't work.
Mm, that's an interesting one. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead, and what I need to do is I would need to check in with B&B Payee and see if that's something that they could provide for us, is a certified check. I'm not sure. That's not something we've done before that I'm aware of. So I would need to. So I'm going to ask you, go ahead, if you can email me and that you are interested in doing that, let me go. That'll remind me. And then I will email
Makes
B&B
sense.
Payee and ask them if they can do that. So before you even submit a request for your client, let me double check that that's something we can do.
Sure. Sounds good. Thank you so much. I'm gonna email you soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Hey, Kendra, did you have a question for me?
No, I just wanted to touch base with you.
Yeah.
I've redone my cheat sheet.
Okay.
Um, and I've kind of because some of the things have changed, like the once a year. I kind of wanted to send that to you to see
Mhm.
if it sounds okay, because we're trying to onboard more people, because I was getting them all,
Yeah.
and I had I was being bombarded with them, and I was getting behind in my work. And so I took a break. And in that 1 week, they had 7. And I'm like, see, it's hard to stay and do my job whenever they're constantly, and there's there's only 2 others within youth and family. And so I drafted a letter of just what they need, and I mean, it got to the point where they were just sending the things to me without even asking. And I'm like, okay, I got to put my foot down. So I created like a checklist, and like I'm giving them like a minimum of 3 days. If you don't have all the paperwork, I'm not, because we get so many. If you don't have all the paperwork within 3 days, I'm not holding it. But as far as
I think that's fair.
the car repair,
Mhm.
the reason I did with this other one, with the car repair, is because she is elderly and she's very forgetful. It wasn't just with this, it's just a habitual thing. She is elderly. Um, and my program director, Liz, works very closely with her. So I am going to resubmit that. Um, and it was just, and Liz just happened to catch her at the clinic when whenever the guy had brought her to the clinic with her kid, with the grandkids. So we do have the actual license now.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, I'm fixing to put my foot down because I'm not going to hold it, because 3 days is plenty of time. If you're getting the information, which is every required question within the request,
Yeah.
then you shouldn't have a problem.
Right. If
And
those
even if
attention
you
to
have to
detail.
look for
Yeah.
something, a day or two should be enough.
Yeah. For
So,
sure. For sure. And
um,
right now, keep in mind, we did just run out of special
yeah.
CMH dollars. And
Well,
so,
and that's what and I
yeah,
put there, there's no,
exclusive funding to
yeah,
support. Yeah. So now everything will fall under barrier buster, which is fine. Now it will fall under the barrier buster guidelines with a little less and a little less, yet a little bit more flexibility. Because now we can exceed that 1,000 cap that we had for the CMH, but it also means you're also now in a pool of all the other barrier buster agencies.
well, and like in the letter, I put in there that, um, you know, there has to be, it, if they haven't applied for the SER, do not fill it out. If they have not contacted, to see about match funding, do not fill that out.
Yeah.
If they've not done the other things, don't fill that out.
Yeah. We really have to move, and until we get lots more money, we really need to move to the most critical cases.
Right.
Yeah. And then to find
And,
those match funds. Exactly. You are right on target.
I'm like, if they're not willing to do what is like actually available to them, like the SER, then I'm not,
That's fair. That's fair to me.
because like right now, I had reached out to Barrier Busters for an air conditioner unit for a coworker, and Mr. Tyrone with Friends Indeed,
Mhm.
they have one and he's holding it for me.
Okay.
And I'm like, I told the caseworker, I'm like, I'll even go get it and take it. I just can't lift it and put it in. But I mean, it's only going to get hotter, and she's got 4 kids. She's a single mom. She's not working. And I'm like, I was born in the 70s. I was raised in the 80s. I'm living proof it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
However, personally and professionally, I'm also living proof that it takes a community to help a parent.
Mhm.
And I tell this mom, I'll bring it to her if she has a man around that can help her put it in, because it's going to be hot. And I know when I'm hot, I'm not
Right.
to be around.
Yeah. Really difficult.
It's worse than I'm hangry. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I'm hot, I'm hateful.
Yeah.
So,
No,
but yeah,
not
I just kind of
alone.
wanted to send that to you because,
Okay.
like I
Do
said,
it.
all the required questions, it's even the little, like, in the last 12 months,
Mhm.
because those can be personal,
Mhm.
and it's kind of hard at times because they're struggling, and it's hard to talk to them on the phone about that. And I had one case that really did just really get me, because
Yeah.
I knew more than the actual case manager.
Okay.
and that shouldn't be the case.
No, not because of the being a case manager in the whole situation. That's right.
And I'm like, I didn't even ask. And it broke me.
Mm,
And that's whenever I told my supervisor, I'm like, I need a break. Because if I'd have had it, I'd have paid the other one. You
okay.
know,
Yeah.
one request, and it's not promised nor guaranteed.
Yeah.
One request.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I will send that.
And so on that note, when you are putting in a request, that's what I need. I don't need the story per se. I need just the gist of the the emphasis of this is a critical case.
Right.
And let me know. And even if you need to call me and reach out to me to like because we don't want to put anything in paper written down, like this is a real exceptional situation. I will
Right.
do my best. I will do my best.
Well, if there's any a
Because that's what
time
we're
like
looking
that,
for.
I will like email you with like the request number and just say,
This one's exceptional. Yeah. And I'll do my best to prioritize that. Because we do know we face some of those. And that really, unfortunately, is those, well, not unfortunately in the sense that those are the ones I really want to support, not because others aren't, but we do have to find a line to be able to do it. And you are right. We need to have all documentation available that's necessary for us to know to be able to do this, those match funds, everything. So if we can get all that in line, we're good. But we'll try from there.
but yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you because, like I said, if they're not willing to do what is actually available to them,
Yeah.
but they're wanting somebody else to do it, no, that doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, that sounds like something, yeah, an agency policy for you and your coworkers and supervisor and everybody to make that happen. That is a real thing.
But yeah, but
Shouldn't
I
be on you.
appreciate you. I do not envy you.
Likewise, likewise. I appreciate the work that
Um,
you're doing. And yeah, I gotta tell you, it was so May was rough, June was harder. And then
so bless
I'm
you.
to not have to make those decisions.
Just bless your heart because
But you know what it
I
does
know
do is it makes me go out there and push for funding. So I had a brief interaction with Mayor Nicole Brown of Ypsilanti, and I'm like, money. And she said, yes. I'm like, we got to figure that out. And so she's invited me to do outreach, to go talk to her city council. So anyway, that's to go petition, basically. I'm going to go and present. It's like, give us money. This is how we can help. So anyway, whatever we can do, it's pushing me. So when I don't have the money, it is pushing me to find the money. So
good because I do not envy you, sweetheart. I don't because it's bound to be hard to separate. And I know it has to weigh on you.
and likewise, you two are in the same type of position to understand, yeah, to see that. Yeah,
and
we need more funding. But the need is so much, and it's only getting more. Like 18% was there. So I did recently look into some data from United Way 211. They have a dashboard that's really great. And so you can identify in Washtenaw County for like Q2 of last year compared to Q2 of this year, requests went up 18%. Requests for needs for services. And so we are starting to
everything is
feel.
continuing to go up.
Mhm.
I was watching TV and it was talking about, it's getting election time and
Yeah.
they're like, this person knows the needs of Michigan. They're going to build more, but it doesn't mean it's going to be cost effective. Just because you build it doesn't mean that people are going to be able to afford it.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there and to understand how that works. And the more I'm in it, I see it. Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired of mac and cheese and ramen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thankful because it's substance.
Yeah.
It's something. And
Yeah. And when you take that away, when it's for me, it's cabbage. For me, it's cabbage. I live on cabbage. It's cheap, it's filling, it's nutritional.
I love
Um,
cabbage. Oh my goodness.
I do
I'm a
cabbage
country
all
girl.
different ways.
I love cabbage. I'm a country girl. I
Yeah,
love cabbage.
yeah. I
Like
ate it every day.
I could do like brown beans in a crock pot,
Mhm.
cabbage, cornbread.
Yep.
Yum. That's like the best
Love
meal.
it.
Ah,
Yep, yep. And it works. So yes, all that and but when those needs and when we feel it's to for those that are even more vulnerable and with lower incomes, prices of food and everything is going up and impacting all of us.
that's like I went to the store the other day because, I've been losing weight over this last year and a half, and my thing lately has been cottage cheese and fruit.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah.
fresh fruit is just ridiculous.
Oh man, it
Canned
sure is.
fruit, canned fruit is not any better. It was almost $2 a can, and that was the Meyer brand.
You know, agree. And the other thing that is going up that I'm just like actually watching it tick up is the cost of can of beans, right? Beans should be no more than $1. And even just for like the not organic Meyer beans, it's ticking up. I do look for it. I think the sales and I do look for it for the dollar. But man, I'm just watching it go up. There was one I was at Fresh Time or I was at some other store and it was like 250 for a can of or 250, 350. And I'm like, no, I'm doing without. No, not doing it. I can't do it.
You
So
couldn't get me to lick the inside of the can for that price.
no. And
Not
then
even
like
sniff it.
so I've been moving to I have an Instapot, so I have been moving to just dried beans, right? And so that's just a few dollars for a bag, and then that's like just like 2 pound bag can last you for a long time. So I've been moving to bags of beans. So beans and
Yeah.
cabbage.
Oh, but those
Yeah,
are so good though.
it is.
And so
It
much
is.
better for you because then you're adding the fats, the sodium, and all that kind of stuff too. But
Yep, yep.
like I went to SOS,
Hmm.
on Tuesday, and you know, like the cornbread mixes, you can zhuzh those up,
Hmm.
like
You sure
adding the
can.
right, like adding the cream corn and the diced chilies, making Mexican cornbread.
Sure, sure. Yeah, and they're so good. Even just plain is still good. But yeah,
Oh
you
yeah.
definitely could throw
But
in some
like
various things.
I'm like, trying to be creative
Yep.
gets boring. It gets daunting.
Yeah. Sure does.
Yeah,
It sure
but
does.
one of my favorite meals is cabbage,
Uh-huh.
mac and cheese, not the creamy, but like
Okay.
the box. I don't know why, but I'm specific. It's got to be the
Okay.
box
Okay.
and brown beans
Hmm.
and cornbread
Hmm. That sounds good.
and taking like it's good if you got green onions
Hmm.
or just regular like Vidalia onion.
Yep.
Again, I'm
Yep.
saying I'm country. I'm like born and raised Tennessee. I'm country fried,
Yep. Yep. That's awesome.
and like chow chow.
Okay. What is that? Chow chow. What is that?
It's it's hard to explain,
Is it
but
like a
it's
mix
like
of foods?
no, it's my grandmother used to make it and she called it homemade ketchup, but it's not a sauce. I'll have to send you a picture, but it's
Oh,
like
I'm intrigued.
tomatoes and peppers and it's kind of sweet. So it complements like the onion and the brown beans and the cornbread.
Oh.
So you have like salty, sweet.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
It is so yummy.
If you are up for it, I would love the recipe or like, yeah, if I could find something, I can go online too and see if I can find it. But if you can give me, I would love. I think my son who likes the sauces and likes the to try new things, I would definitely put that
Oh
up
yeah,
for it.
I will have to send you
If you're up for it,
yeah,
I would love it.
because oh my goodness, I can't have my favorite country meal without
Without it.
my chow chow.
Wow. So you make it each time? So you just make it
No,
each time.
I buy it. My
Okay.
grandmother used to make it homemade.
I see. So you can go and buy it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, then you need to tell me what
I'll look
brand
for
it
the
is or
I'll look for the one that my friend gets
okay, do that.
on Amazon, and I'll send it to you.
Okay, that's what I need.
Uh,
Yeah.
Makes my mouth water.
Okay. Okay, I'm excited. If you forget or don't have time, it's totally okay, but I might see what I can do. I'm really intrigued by that.
Oh yes, but you have a wonderful and blessed day, Stacy. I
You too.
appreciate you so, so much.
Likewise, I do too. I appreciate your work as well. Thank you.
All right, well, you take care.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.